Hi everybody, this morning we're going to be making your Builder burger and serve it with potato wedges. Now with your Builder burger you would have chosen your patty choice, whether it was beef, chicken, lamb, salmon or vegetarian. And today I'm going to show you how to do the beef and the chicken one. The patties are all very similar with the method, so whatever you watch me do, you can just do the same with whichever one you chose. The first thing you need to do is to wash your hands in hot soapy water for 20 seconds. Make sure you give them a really good wash, and you can dry them with either a clean hand towel or paper towel. You also need to make sure you have on a clean apron, and you need to make sure any jewelry is off. I'll just take my rings off. And also make sure you have some clean tea towels and a clean dishcloth. Okay, once you've done that, you need to turn on your oven, 220 degrees, because we're going to start off making the wedges. My oven is already turned on and I have already chopped up 2 of my potatoes. So you need 3 medium potatoes or 2 large potatoes. When you're doing it, you just, as you can see, there's a few little nodules on mine. Always cutting away from yourself. You can trim off any of those. And then we cut them into wedges. To cut the wedges, you just cut the potato in half, always cutting away from yourself again, and then actually this way into little triangles. Try and make them all the same size so that they cook evenly. That can go into a bowl. And you're ready to add your flavourings. First of all, I'm going to get a tablespoon of flour, scraping it off so it's nice and level into a little bowl. Then you need half a teaspoon of paprika. If you don't have measuring spoons, it's okay to just guess. The easiest way to get the paprika out is to remove the little lid. And it doesn't fit, so I'm just going to tip it on. And half a teaspoon of thyme. You could use any spices or flavourings that you like. It's totally up to you. You could be a bit creative with this part. And half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to, and some pepper. Stir that all around. Before you add it to the potato, I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. Toss that. That'll make the potatoes nice and oily, and it'll mean that the flavourings will stick to it. Okay, then place your potato on a lined tray. I've just got baking paper on mine. Spread them out so they're single layered. And you bake them in your preheated oven, probably for about 40 minutes. The recipe says 40 minutes, and you need to turn them at about the 20-minute mark. And hopefully by that stage you'll have made your burgers and they'll be all ready at the same time. The first burger I'm going to show you is how to make the beef burger. So with this burger you need 150 grams of mince. Now if you want to make more than one burger, you can double the recipe or times it by 4 to make 4 burgers. Okay, so it just depends how many people you want to make it for. I'm just making one today, 150 grams of mince. Now to go into your burger so that it's not just plain mince, we're going to also add some oregano. I don't have any, so I'm using thyme. So you could use thyme or basil or whatever else you might have in the cupboard. Dijon mustard is on the recipe. I don't have any, so I'm just going to use mild mustard. So one thing with cooking is you can use alternative ingredients that are similar that you already have, so you're not going out buying things unnecessarily. Now the recipe also says you only need half an egg. So if you're making one burger, then what you can do is crack the egg and just whisk it up, and then just estimate what half the egg is. You also need some fresh breadcrumbs. I just used the crusts of my bread and blended it in my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, the other option you can do is just get a piece of bread. You can trim the crusts off. And then chop it into smaller pieces. Place it in a bowl. And with a tablespoon of milk, put that in there and let that soak and then you can mash it with a fork. Just give it a few minutes to soak through. The next step is to dice up your onion. This recipe calls just for half an onion, but if you're doubling it, you'll need the full onion, or if you're timesing it by 4, you'll need 2 onions. So you need to remove the skin first. Easy to just peel that off. Then just trim off the end. Turn it back this way, curl your fingers, keep the root end intact, and slice one direction. You want a fairly fine dice for a hamburger, you don't want big chunks of onion in it. And then back the other way, as close and finely as you can. Because I'm going to make the chicken burgers as well, I'm going to do the other half now because I'll need that other half for the chicken burger. In this step, I'm going to lightly fry or saute the onions. I've preheated my pan a little bit. I'm just going to put in about a tablespoon of oil. Coat the bottom of the pan and make sure that oil heats up. Now the role of the oil is that it is the heat transferer. So it heats up and this is what cooks the onion. You should hear that nice little sizzle when you first put the onion in. And I've got mine on a medium heat because I don't want my onion to burn. I just want it to soften and become translucent. You don't want to burn it or you don't want it to change colour. Okay, if it's too hot, you'll burn it. It's been 2 to 3 minutes now and my onion is now nice and soft and ready to use for my burgers. So I'm going to turn it off the heat. Okay, so I've measured out the mustard, the thyme, the breadcrumbs, and I've put the mince in there. Now I just need to grate some Parmesan cheese. It's about 1 tablespoon. I just use it on the microplane grater and into there. I need to add half of my onion because remember I cooked up the full onion but I only need half for this burger. The other half I'll save for the chicken burger that I'll do in a moment. Need to add some salt and pepper. Also need to add half the egg. I'll save the other half for my chicken burger. Now to mix this up, I'm going to wear a glove. If you don't have a glove at home, that's all right. You can just use your hand. Make sure you wash your hands first before you do it. Or you can just use a spoon or a wooden spoon is good. Just mix that all through until everything's combined. I'm going to transfer my patty onto a plate with some flour on it. So you can just shape the patty to whatever size you want. You might even make 2 small burgers if you don't want 1 large one. I'm making 1 large one because I have a hamburger bun to put this onto and they're quite a big bun. Okay, quite flat. You don't want it too thick because when you cook it later, it won't cook through properly. I'm going to sit it on some flour. I'm going to wash my hands and then get a little bit more flour and sprinkle it on top. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside and let that rest while I chop up my ingredients that I'm going to put inside my burger. I have 3 different buns to show you. This is a hamburger bun, so I've made my patty big enough to fit this burger bun. This is a brioche bun, pre-cut, sort of more of a sweeter bun, very, very, very soft. And then this is just a white plain roll from Baker's Delight, which also nice and soft, which also would be good. So if you're doing this size, just make sure your patty is made small enough to fit those. So I'm going to cut my bread roll in half. Be careful you don't cut yourself. With my tomato and lettuce, I've washed my lettuce and my tomato and I'm just going to slice it into thin slices. And I have cheese, which is already sliced, ready to go as well. Also some tomato sauce to serve on top. Now whatever you chose in your ingredients is what you can assemble. So it's totally up to you what you do. I've also got bacon. So when I cook my patty, I'll cook the bacon to go with it too. I'm going to cook my patty now. I've preheated my pan a little bit, adding some oil. Now you'll need a egg flip or a large flat spatula for this. Spread the oil around so it's nice and hot. So when you put the patty in, you should hear a nice sizzling sound. Carefully lift it up and place it on. If it loses shape, just push it back together, and you might want to flatten it out a little bit more. It will puff up a little bit during cooking. You can use a spatula. Now when you're cooking the patty, don't flip it. You just need to let it cook for one side for about 3 or 4 minutes. Flip it once, cook the other side, and then it'll be ready to serve. My patty's ready to flip now, so I'm going to get my spatula right under it and one flip. If it falls apart, just push it back together and hopefully it'll stay together, and then cook it for another couple of minutes. While the second side's cooking, I've just added the bacon and letting that cook a little bit. And the other thing you can do, if you want to, you can add your cheese directly on top, and that will start to melt a little bit, ready for serving. Okay, my burger's ready now, so I'm going to put it, I've got my plate and bun close by. Lift it up, transfer it straight onto the bread. Then I'm going to put the bacon on, and lettuce, tomato sauce, add the tomato, some beautiful fresh crispy lettuce, put the lid on. And finally, a few wedges on the side. You can serve this with some sour cream or some more tomato sauce, or whatever you desire. Then enjoy. I'm now going to quickly show you how to make the chicken burger, very similar as the beef burger. You need 150 grams of chicken mince. You need half a small onion. I'm going to use the one that I did earlier. You also need 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, which I'll put straight in. Or you can do the milk in the bread trick that I showed you earlier. You need some chives, 2 tablespoons. The chives need to be washed, and then you just very carefully slice these up. Tuck your fingers out of the way as you go. It doesn't say to add parmesan, but I'm going to add a little bit of parmesan into my chicken burger as well, because I think that would go really nicely. 2 teaspoons of sweet chili sauce. This would be nice with the burger as well at the end if you were serving. Half an egg, the half that I reserved from earlier when I made the beef burger. Now to add some salt and some pepper. And mix it together again. I'm using a glove. You can just use your clean hands. Mix it all together, shape it into a patty, and then set it aside onto a plate. Okay, I'm actually going to make 2 patties out of this now that I'm looking at it. That there. I have smaller buns for the chicken burger. You can see how it's sticking to my hands. If my hands were wet, they actually wouldn't stick as much. Toss it in a little bit of flour, and then it's ready to transfer over to the fry pan. When your pan is nice and hot with some oil in it, transfer your patty directly on there. And same as before, let it cook one side for about 3 minutes, flip it once, cook the other side, and then put it into your prepared bun. I'm flipping mine now. And as you can see over here, I've got some buns in another fry pan, just warming up, as a different way if you want some warm buns to serve with it. Once the second side is cooked, take it out, serve it onto your bread bun with tomato and lettuce and whatever else you had ready for it. Lettuce. And there you have beautiful, healthy chicken burgers. Enjoy. And finally, don't forget to clean up everything, make sure your kitchen is sparkling, and enjoy your nice, healthy chicken burgers.